All right, yeah, welcome everybody to OrCAD, and I am using OrCAD X, so that has CIS included in it. And in our flow today, we'll have this design be tied into CIP, so that's our engineering database in the background. So again, you have your engineering side database. This can be tied right into your Arena database. So all the part numbers you want from Arena will automatically synchronize into this CIP OrCAD database. So when your users place parts, when they link any symbols in the designs against the database, you're seeing the same corporate part numbers that are in your Arena database. So the placement side is great, but let's show you the new part introduction, because that's what I've been discussing a lot, right? Engineers might go out. So here is CIP, our OrCAD database. You can come in and you can pull parts right off DigiKey or these other vendors right here. And I'll use a part real quick so I can look up the manufacturer part number, find the exact part I want, see the inventory, the data sheet, some of that information here. And as part of our integration, we've done the work of having a pre-built symbols, footprints, 3D step models. So again, things that you can, especially for younger engineers, they don't enjoy doing. So we can give you a head start on all of that data for you to pull right into your database. Now, when you build up a part here and you create a temporary part inside of CIP and you go and download the symbols, this still only exists in your OrCAD side, right? We're still isolated from, this has no corporate part number. Arena is not aware of this part yet. So we won't be able to take this part and push it into a BOM that can go right into Arena. So let's show that flow. So I've already taken this part. I've created a temp part out of it. I've mapped the symbol, gotten some information pulled down from DigiKey, and this is still a temporary part, right? So if I'm ready, I can take this part and try to convert it to an Arena part number. So this is a temporary part. When I go through this flow, it will go and reach out to Arena and get the next available part number. And immediately I want to show you that our integration has some checks put in. It'll warn you, hey, it's great you picked out a part, but you're not ready. You haven't mapped in what's the part type of this field. So we can come in, and CIP actually has some auto generation you can do, and it can read other fields and map it in exactly based on the criteria from other fields. So I'll do that. I'll give it a part type, make the change I need. And then now I'm ready to convert this to an Arena number. So I'm logging into Arena right from OrCAD right here. So when I log in, I probably need to change my password. Okay. It's important to update your passwords, of course. And you can see here, my categories are automatically mapped, right? CIP has part categories, Arena has part categories, and when we build this implementation, we build it so that there's a mapping between the two so that your engineer automatically will be able to auto-generate to a part number following the schema in your Arena side. And then you can see here, you can dictate all the fields you want mapped in your OrCAD side that you want to hand over into your Arena side. You can start doing things like here, DigiKey, they named this part with a manufacturer like this, manufacturer name like this. In Arena, we expect it to have analog devices as just a name. So it will clean that up as a process. You can tell it whether this is an indirect or direct source. You can even choose to hand up the data sheet from CIP right into Arena as you pass over this data. So the engineer, they really don't have to make too many decisions here. They can verify, okay, this is the part I picked out. This is the data I'm handing up. I can simply hit convert to Arena. It'll clean up the name for me. And then I will now have an actual part number assigned to this part inside of my tool. So I don't have to leave OrCAD. I don't have to look up the part numbers. I don't have to know the part number scheme. Now this part exists both in CIP and in Arena. And in my design, I can place it right down on my schematic and immediately get to work and stay inside OrCAD, right? I didn't have to delay waiting for someone to generate the part number. I didn't have to go and step outside the tool. Everything is done as part of that handoff. Now, let's say you build up this design, you get it the way you want exactly. You can come right into OrCAD and actually hand off this whole design as a BOM into Arena without first generating a spreadsheet like you would have to historically, massaging it. You don't have to do any intermediate steps. All of that is done through our integration. I can hit this import BOM, and immediately I can take this BOM and I can either import an existing BOM number and update the working rev. In my case, I'll create a new number. I can pick the category that goes into it. This is a PCBA. It'll automatically generate a BOM number. And for those of you familiar with CIS, you can manage variants as well. You can have as many variants as you want, and you can pick those variants as the BOM import from CIP. And here are some of those checks that we've built into the tool. You can see right off the bat, do I have any parts that have restricted values? None of my parts, in my case, I flag them if they're tagged as obsolete. Those parts will not be able to import it in my BOMs. So I can have the confidence that my design fits the rules that I've built into place. And likewise, do I have any parts in my schematic that don't have an Arena part number yet? And they can go and check through every symbol on there, verify it, make sure you're good to go. And now you can hit import and bring this data from OrCAD right into Arena. So we'll let it do its work, and then I will open this up in Arena once that part number is generated for us. I can proceed as doing some checking. So we've successfully imported the BOM in. I can copy this number, and I'll bring up my Arena webpage, hop it over here. And now, just to show you that BOM exists in Arena, we can see when it comes up when it was created, just now today at this time. And then you can see all of those reference designators, all of those parts, the part numbers, the descriptions, all of that information is handed off right into Arena, into the working revision, so that you can now not have to worry about doing any hand massaging, right? You can see all the reference designators, all the data that you need from CIP into Arena. And while I'm here, I will go and click on this new part I just created today, just to show you. Here's that new part number I pulled from DigiKey, and you can see the sourcing relationship from Analog Devices, that new part number automatically noted that I built it in OrCAD and handed it off into Arena. So changes from this side to the part, again, will propagate right back into CIP. So you have a full loop. You can now, I'll use your phrase, Heatherly, free the engineer to continue working on the design. And then, any changes to the AVL, to maybe certain fields, will propagate back onto the schematic so that you can trust the data that you have on both sides. And I'll finish off by showing inside OrCAD, we also have built in the ability to take any part on our schematic and see what other BOMs is used in. I can right click on it and see the Arena where used. And immediately it'll search up that part number and tell me, hey, these are all the other BOMs, these are all the other revs. It's using this reference designator on that design, how many on each one. And I can now, if I want to, I can open up those designs and use it as a starting point to see how that component might have been implemented, right? Encouraging you to reuse parts, take advantage of existing designs. So a lot of data now that your engineer can see right inside OrCAD. All right, thanks for your time, everybody.